Picture a world where you take every step and every decision you make feels organic, effortless, and deeply aligned with who you are, and the world where you're no longer fighting against the current, but now you're flowing with it, trusting where it's taking you. What if the secret to unlocking that freedom isn't about doing more, grinding harder, or figuring it all out, getting smarter, or trying to fit in? What if it's about surrendering? I'm Mark Roach. This is Transcendent, a space where I've created this to unearth the truths that we often overlook or resist. My life has been an endless series of twists and turns, successes and failures, all of which have pointed me to one simple and profound lesson. Life works when we stop trying to control it. Today, I want to talk about surrender, not as defeat, but as the key to unlocking your truest self and tapping into your boundless creative potential. Surrender is not a concept we're taught to value. It's painted as a weakness, seen as quitting often, as letting life happen to you. But Rave Cosmology VIII flips that narrative on its head. It tells us that surrender is not about giving up. It's about giving in to the natural flow of your unique design rather than the robotic conditioning that may have happened around you when you were born and brought into this world and conditioned. It's about trusting the intelligence of your body, your instincts, your core, rather than allowing your mind to dictate every action. Here's the thing. Control is an illusion we cling to out of fear. We're terrified of the unknown, so we micromanage every aspect of our lives, planning, calculating, and pushing, thinking that if we grip tightly enough, we can guarantee the outcome we want. But life in its infinite mystery doesn't work that way, and when we try to force it to work that way, all we create is resistance. Resistance to joy, to creativity, to freedom. According to Rave Cosmology VIII, each of us is designed to operate like a finely tuned instrument. Our bodies, our spirits are built to resonate with the flow of life. But when the mind steps in trying to control and manipulate, that instrument gets out of tune. Instead of creating harmony, we create noise, conflict, misunderstandings. Look around. That's all you can see. Fighting. Surrender, then, is about stepping back and letting life return us. And when you surrender, you unlock a kind of creative freedom that can't be forced. And here's why. Creativity doesn't emerge from pushing or pulling. It emerges from allowing. Think about the moments when your greatest ideas came to you. Were they the result of hours of agonized effort, or did they arrive unannounced like a gift in the middle of a walk or a shower? Rave Cosmology VIII reminds us that the form our creativity takes is already within us. It needs only the space and stillness to rise to the surface. The truth is something that I've wrestled with in my own life. For years, I operated in a mindset of effort and control. I equated surrender with failure, and in doing so, I created more struggle than flow. It wasn't until I began to loosen my grip, to trust the natural rhythm of my life, that things began to shift. Creative breakthroughs, connections, and opportunities started showing up, not because I forced them, but because I finally got out of the way. Surrender isn't passive, it's deeply active. It's a state of trust. It means noticing when the mind is trying to take over rather than just observe and gather data, and gently allowing yourself back into your inner compass, your core design. This kind of trust doesn't come overnight. It takes practice, patience, and willingness to sit with the discomfort of not knowing. But the rewards are immense. One of the surprising truths about surrender is how it amplifies your magnetism. When you stop trying to control life and instead meet it with curiosity and openness, life responds in kind. Opportunities begin to find you. The right people cross your path. Creativity flows naturally because you're no longer blocking it with fear or doubt. But make no mistake, surrender is an act of courage. It requires letting go of stories that you've been told about what success looks like. It asks you to quiet the voice in your head that says you need to grind, hustle, or emulate or copy others to prove your worth. Rave Cosmology VIII teaches us that every individual has a one-of-a-kind design. The more we try to live someone else's blueprint, the more we stifle our energy and our creativity. Surrender is about reclaiming your unique flow, trusting what works for others isn't necessarily what works for you. And this isn't about big life-altering decisions. The practice of surrender shows up in the small everyday moments. It's how you approach your work, your relationships, your habits. It's about asking yourself, am I acting out of alignment or am I responding to what feels authentic and true? When you start living in alignment with your design, life begins to feel less like a series of obstacles and more like a collaborative dance. The universe isn't working against you, it's working with you. To begin this process, start small. Pay attention to the areas of your life where you feel the most resistance. Is it in your job, your relationships, your creative pursuits? Ask yourself, where am I trying to force an outcome instead of allowing it to unfold? And then experiment with letting go. This doesn't mean abandoning your responsibilities or your goals. It means shifting your focus from controlling the steps to trusting the process. Think of surrender as an opening, the space where creativity breathes and new possibilities emerge. When you surrender, you stop demanding that life fit into a specific box, and you open yourself to outcomes you couldn't have imagined. This isn't magic, it's alignment. And when you're aligned, life has a way of surprising you. What would happen if you decided not to push for a day? If you allowed yourself to go where the energy naturally flows? If you listen to the quiet voice inside of you that already knows the way? You might find that surrender isn't an act of giving up, but actually giving yourself permission to truly live. I'm Mark Roach, and this is Transcendent. Wishing you all the best.